All right, this is Reflective Practitioner Video Journal number 2 for week 4 on student-centered learning environments. The question asks generally about my own experiences observing or participating in a student-centered learning environment. I think it's an interesting term that I know has recently become much more popular, but it's almost, I guess, obvious in a way. I mean, in a classroom, the learning should be student-centered, right? That's kind of the assumption. The students are the ones learning, explicitly anyways. But I think the move towards that phrase becoming so prevalent is because traditionally learning isn't student-centered. It's almost ironic that the old ways of teaching, the old instructional practices are so teacher-focused, so content-focused, that it leaves so many kids without a place in education. I remember Sir Kenneth Richardson's, TED Talk. He talks about how, the traditional classroom is based off, or the traditional school rather, and by extension the classroom is based off a factory industry model with the bells, the way the seats are arranged. It's almost like a assembly line for education. We all know that just doesn't work. Education is not a baseball cap. It's not one size fits all. So for me, I've had the privilege to observe a lot of excellent teachers, amazing educators who truly, truly make their classroom student-centered. And I think the most important thing about student-centered learning environment isn't even necessarily the physical environment itself, but it's the instructional practices. Are they really focused, and are they intentionally designed to make sure that the student is the one not only learning but demonstrating their knowledge in a myriad of ways? So when I think of a student-centered classroom, I automatically think of limited direct instruction. I think direct instruction has its place. Students need to be able to follow directions and commands, but that should not be the primary focus of the learning for the day. We don't want to churn out robots who just repeat commands and are able to replicate routines and tasks. We want critical thinkers, right? So a critical thinker doesn't rely on a explicit roadmap that details every single step. That's not critical thinking. That's following instructions. Now that's an important part. Following instructions is an important part of learning how to be a critical thinker, but that's not the end goal. So limited direct instruction, all the different learning modalities that students possess have to be catered to and engaged. It can't just be the kids that process information verbally and visually that get the attention. So it has to be mindful. The instruction has to be mindful. I think a simple way to do that is to break up the flow of the classroom, whether it's a flipped classroom model, whether it's station rotations. You just can't stand up there and talk to students and then give them a worksheet or give them pages in a textbook and expect them to complete it. Explicit modeling that is intentionally designed to not only model one way, to not only have one access point for kids to comprehend, group work, think, pair, share. Like I said, I've seen station rotations done beautifully in a small classroom and in a large classroom. It takes a lot of classroom management. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of mindfulness to all the pitfalls that could happen to a classroom when you're allowing kids to shift and transition into different stations and different activities and different modalities of learning. But when I do classroom, that's what I think of. Attention spans are shrinking with social media, technology, and the culture of instant gratification, and I think education has to change with it. What aspects do I think would be most helpful to me if it had been a part of my K-12 learning? I was always lucky in the sense that I thrived in the classroom. I was able to navigate education from an early age. I knew what teachers expected, what teachers wanted. But I even knew back in elementary school that there were kids that were not like me, that my classmates, my friends, had it way tougher because they couldn't navigate the traditional classroom. I don't know. It's a great question. It causes reflection. I loved reading, so I was a bookworm. English was a second language, so direct instruction was hard for me in elementary school, but I was able to pick up on it pretty quickly because I loved reading. I watched a lot of American TV, but I think I would have loved to be able to do more group work, more peer-led instruction. Probably would have done great for my social emotional development too. Be able to demonstrate my knowledge and then teach my peers or have my peers teach me. I mean, that's kind of a structured, forced social interaction and engagement. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. But yeah, my video's too long already, so that's my response.